Hello there, welcome to a new series of videos that I'm doing where each day I'll be looking at a different e-commerce brand that I really like and seeing who they are, what they sell, how they sell, and then what else they can do to start growing their sales. I don't have a name for the series yet, so if you have something good, let me know in the comments and let's get into it. So today in this first video we are talking about Artisan Oak Co. They are from Somerville, West Virginia, and basically they started on a family farm. They're a team of craftsmen, and what they do, so you know aging barrels that they use to age whiskey in, or barrels that they age whiskey in, they make small tumblers, they make small 5-ounce tumblers, and the idea is that sort of you drink your whiskey from this when you're tasting them, and because of the oak and the charring, it sort of brings out all the flavors and all the aromas that exist in whiskey. So it's kind of a more enriched way or a more enhanced way of tasting whiskey for the first time. So that's really cool. They also sell a cutting board. They also sell a wood rub to help maintain your small little tumbler, and they also have in the works small little oak shot glasses as well. So that's really cool, and I think it's such a cool idea that I'm actually going to buy one for my father-in-law. He's going to love it and he's going to get me some good points. Alright, so here we are on their Instagram page, as we can see here. Very cool. Yeah, so I mean, so I've obviously had a look at this before. What they do is they film sort of they do reviews of different whiskies. So we'll pull up on this one because I also quite like Maker's Mark. As we can see here, yeah, this is a review 39. Let's comment on this as well. So let's have a watch here. Oh, and also I've muted it, but they have this really cool voice, kind of narrates all this, proper like whiskey guy, you know. So yeah, let's see. So yeah, as you can see here, very good. Like, they've got the products in the background, but they're not leading with the sale. This is something that's very important. So here, I mean, here obviously the highlight or the focus is actually, you know, the whiskey, but in the background, and we'll go on to explain. We'll talk about this later, sort of showcasing the product, but it's not the focal point. They're not leading with the sale. But here we go, cool. Then they actually do introduce the product. It's really good. It's very nice. They've given us okay, so they've given us some context. These wood tumblers are made from cherry oak. Yeah, this is cool. This is good stuff. This is nice. This is nice. Okay. Okay. And that's pretty much, you know, their typical, not an ad structure really, but this is kind of their main feature of what they do, which I really like. I think it's very useful. They lead value, showing they sort of really they really know their stuff about whiskey, and that's always important. You know, you want anytime you sell something, you want to show that you obviously have expertise and sort of mastery in the field. You know, it's logical. You don't want to buy from someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, do you? And then let's go in. So here they also have their website. So a link in the bio. Click on that, and let's open up here. It's very classy. Nice. Straight to the shop, and as you can see here, straight to the offer. So they offer a range, discounted if you pay for more than one. That's very cool. Very nice. Add to cart, straight to the cart. That's their sales. That's the sales strategy. That's sort of the sales funnel, the ad process. Let's talk about it. Okay, cool, nice. Yeah, good. And let's see what else do they do well. So okay, yeah, I really like this page. I really like everything, you know, the way they sort of use their Instagram. They have like some behind the scenes stuff here. They sort of provide a bit of context, like sort of showing knowledge of whiskey, like, oh, why is it whiskey with an E and why with a Y? That was also a really interesting video. Here they also have like this thing where they go through the best whiskey from each state, which I think is really cool. I really enjoyed that little feature there. And the other thing that they do, so these guys are big on their sort of you know, customer service. So they've got a lot of reviews here, and these lower value ones, like, you know, the person complained about whatever thing, and then they actually went back and edited their comment to say that, you know, it had been fixed. And these, you know, so that basically Artisan Oak, the guys had gone back and rectified the situation, helped to fix, you know, whatever the problem was, which I thought was really cool. And when I was reading the comments on sort of the various on their videos, you know, they also reply. Okay, here they haven't in one day or whatever, but in some of the older videos, you know, they talk, you know, they talk with their consumers, you know, and I think that's really good. That's something, again, really important to sort of establish a community and build a relationship with your potential customers, you know. So top marks there. Good job, guys. That's a cool little feature as well. What else do they do? Yeah, constantly they're sort of giving you knowledge on bourbon. And as you can see, it's not just the same thing over and over again, like 10 different whiskey reviews. No, they sort of switch up their content. So some behind the scenes stuff, and then reviews, and then interaction, that kind of thing. So yeah, really good stuff. I really like what these guys are doing here. And now let's go on to talk about what else they could do then. Okay, so now let's talk about the good stuff, but what else they could be doing. So let's talk about the funnel quickly. So at the moment, the sales process, as we mentioned, it's those Instagram posts of various types, and then at the top of the page in the bio, a link to the website. What we really want to do to streamline the process is make it really easy, so with really clear call to actions. So if they're not going to put them on every single post, which I don't think they should, definitely the ones where they sort of, because we've already mentioned they work on a rotating system of different posts on Instagram. So firstly, they should think about which ones are going to be the ones where they're really looking to make those sales. And then, for example, on those the tasting videos where they sample a different whiskey, put the call to action very clearly in each post, so that the person doesn't have to leave the post and then look for the link and then enter the website. It should be straight and direct. So we present the product, and underneath a link directly to the site. What else could they be doing? So I had a look on their accounts and stuff, and I couldn't find any history of meta ads, which means that they're not doing any paid promotion at the moment. But they have 795,000 followers, so that's already a huge audience. But of course, when we're talking about an ad at the top of the funnel, of course we want to generate awareness and increase the number of people. Fun fact, I don't know if you knew, but only 3% of people online at any given time on social media are actually there to buy something. The other 97% of people are there to be entertained, to be inspired and educated, and that's what we want to work towards. So my idea for the top of the ad for Artisan Oak could be, they actually have something really similar already in one of their reels, where they sort of scan a supermarket in the whiskey aisle or something. And the idea would be, for example, could you identify each whiskey blindfolded, or could you, are you tasting whiskey like a professional? Do you know how to taste whiskey professionally? Because a lot of people sort of drink it, they don't really know what they're looking for, and obviously the whole point of these oak tumblers is that it really starts accentuating the notes. So it's really going to be, if we think about the target audience, it's going to be the people that really appreciate their whiskies and really want to learn, or sort of want to get the most out of their whiskey. So my idea for the top of the funnel would be something like that, not leading directly with the sale, because as we said, only 3% of people are there to buy, and if you're not looking to buy, then you'll skip straight past the ad. So we want to capture our attention. And so this is where we would actually drop into the middle of the funnel. So previously, we've just mentioned that we can show them how to taste whiskey like an absolute pro, and now we want to teach them how to do that. So my proposition in this case would be a roughly 5-minute video, first explaining how whiskey is aged in oak barrels. Then I would guide them on how to actually taste the whiskey. So, for example, show them a pour, and then show them how to sniff with the nose, and then how the correct amount to take, so you're not just downing a shot, and then how to look for those flavors and what some of the flavors are that you might get. And then once we've actually done this is where I would actually introduce the product. So at the end of the video, I would present the product, because essentially what this Artisan Oak tumbler does is it accentuates the nose and it sort of heightens the experience of whiskey, so when you're tasting it on its own. And why? Because let's be honest, whiskey can be expensive, so you want to get the most out of it. And that's exactly what we would talk about when we introduce the product. So we would make a callback to, for example, how whiskeys are aged in these barrels, and how what this product is essentially a tiny barrel that can enhance the experience drastically. And that's what we want to do. That's the purpose of this video. Pure value, introduce the product at the end. So this is now where we drop into the bottom of the funnel, where we make the actual sale. So we've already mentioned before how we want to make the sales process extremely easy and logical. And so straight after having introduced the product, we want to include a call to action which is straight to this offer. So my proposition here would be 1 5-ounce tumbler plus 1 small wood rub kit. It would be down to Artisan Oak, obviously, to look at the financial side and work out a good pricing point for it. But the idea for the customer is that they have both of these things together, because if they were to leave this page, or if they were to neglect this offer, they would only have the choice of buying 1 tumbler or separately 1 wood rub kit. But here we're actually presenting them the irresistible offer of both things together. winning offer. And so that's the sales funnel. But of course, as with everything, there's always more that could be done, but it would work on its own. I would also suggest an email sequence, because again, we want to continue to build the community. We want to continue to build the brand. So here, in exchange for their email, they could offer a free ebook, for example, with classic whiskey-based cocktails that would go really well in these tumblers, or also offer as part of the ebook a sort of flowchart, sort of helping the user to find their ideal whiskey, or 2 or 3 whiskeys that they would really enjoy according to their flavor palette. For example, do you want something more sweet? Do you want something more dry? And they will drop down. Do you like chocolatey notes, or do you like cherry notes? And sort of whittling down all the various options to sort of really help enhance the experience and sort of their love of whiskey for their users, because if they have more users that love whiskey, the more likely they are to sell their product. Also, the more knowledgeable Artisan Oak appear to be, obviously the more sales are going to generate due to confidence in the brand. So yeah, that's what else they could be doing. And that's the end of today's video. I hope it was useful for you. Let me know what you thought in the comments, or if there's any other brands that you also like, let me know who they are so we can take a look at them as well. But that's all for today. So cheers and see you later.